My best friend betrayed me during a crisis. Before we begin the story, make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss more incredible stories every day. My apartment is ash, I tell Jade, voice shredded from smoke, and she says, "Don't worry, give me the login." That sentence lives in my skull now, because it was the moment she became the gatekeeper of my crisis. I'm Zoey, 29, the boring responsible friend. Spreadsheets, autopay, emergency fund. I don't post my problems. Until the night of May 14th, 2025, when the unit above mine caught fire and the sprinkler system turned my life into a soaked, toxic pile. I'm standing outside barefoot in a borrowed hoodie, watching orange light flicker behind my windows like my home is breathing its last. I spend the next morning in the ER with smoke inhalation, then in the hallway with a discharge packet and nowhere to go. My renter's insurance says temporary housing reimbursement, but only after receipts, inspections, and up to 10 business days. 10 business days is an eternity when you're sleeping in your car. Jade shows up looking like a commercial, sleek ponytail, matching athleisure, iced coffee in hand. She hugs me hard and whispers, "I've got you." We've been best friends since college. Inside jokes, shared passwords, text me if you're in trouble promises. She's the kind of friend who sends voice notes at 2 a.m. and calls herself Ride or Die, like it's a job title. "I started a fundraiser," she says, already opening her phone. "People are asking how to help. I'll manage it so you can rest." I should have said no. I should have asked for the link or demanded to be the admin. But my hands are shaking, my lungs feel like sandpaper, and the thought of one more decision makes me want to crawl into the wall. "You're sure?" I ask. "So, yes," she says, smiling like she's saving me. "Just let me handle the ugly parts." She posts, "Help Zoey rebuild after apartment fire," with photos I didn't even know she took. Donations start coming in. $25, $100, $500 from a coworker I barely know. My throat tightens every time my phone buzzes. Then Jade leans closer and lowers her voice. "Promise me you won't post anything yourself," she says. "People get weird when victims look too okay." I laugh weakly because I think she's joking, and she squeezes my hand a little too hard. That's when my phone lights up with an alert I can't explain. 2 years ago, Jade and I had a ritual. Every Sunday, we'd split a greasy breakfast burrito and read each other the worst dating app messages. She'd say, "If we ever get rich, we buy a duplex and never date again." And I'd say, "If we ever get broke, we still split the burrito." She knew my safe words, literally. "If I text blue umbrella," I told her once, half laughing, "it means I need you to come get me, no questions." She used it back when her ex showed up drunk at her office. I was there in 8 minutes. When I got my promotion, she screamed louder than anyone. When her mom was sick, I sat with her in the hospital cafeteria and rubbed circles on her wrist until her breathing slowed. So when the fire happened and she showed up like a superhero, it felt right. Natural. I didn't even notice how fast she slid into the center of the story. She told my coworkers, "Zoey can't really talk right now, but she's so grateful." She told my landlord, "She's overwhelmed. Send everything to me." She told the mutual friends group chat, "Please don't bombard her. She needs calm." It sounded protective. It sounded like love. Aunt Rosa didn't like it. She's my dad's older sister, the only family within driving distance, and she does not do soft warnings. "You let that girl run your money?" she asked when she picked me up from the ER. Her voice was blunt enough to scrape paint. "It's not my money yet," I said. "It's donations." "It's for you," Rosa said, eyes on the road. "That means it's yours." Jade insisted I stay with her for a few nights. Her condo smelled like candles and clean laundry. She made soup, set out extra pillows, posted updates about me like she was my press secretary. "Look," she said, turning her phone to show me the fundraiser. $8,340 in 14 hours. "People love you." I started crying, embarrassed by my own gratitude. She filmed a short clip of me whispering, "Thank you," and posted it. I didn't ask where she posted it. The next day, insurance called and asked me to confirm my temporary address. Before I could answer, Jade cut in, cheerful. "She's with me," she said. "I'll email you the details." After the call, she smiled. "See? I'm handling it." I was exhausted, medicated, and so relieved I let myself believe the world still had a soft place in it. I didn't notice she turned her phone face down every time I looked over. That night, my bank app sent a push notification, "New debit card added to your digital wallet." And I knew I hadn't done that. At first I tell myself it's a glitch. Stress does weird things. Phones auto-sync. My brain is foggy from the inhaler and the lack of sleep. Still, my stomach knots as I open my banking app and scan the devices list. There it is. iPhone, added May 15th, 10:42 p.m. I'm staring at it while Jade is in the kitchen, humming, clinking spoons like everything is normal. I clear my throat. "Hey, did you add my card to your Apple Pay?" She doesn't miss a beat. "Oh yeah," she calls back. "Just in case. If we need to grab supplies or meds, I didn't want to keep asking for your physical card." My face burns. "You didn't ask me." She appears in the doorway holding a mug. "Zoey, you were asleep. And you literally can't breathe without coughing. I'm trying to help." Then softer, like she's petting a nervous animal. "Do you want me to remove it?" I should have said yes immediately. I should have demanded my wallet. But I picture myself back in my car, wheezing, trying to navigate insurance forms with shaking hands. "It's fine," I lie. She steps closer and touches my shoulder. "You're safe here," she says, and her voice is warm enough that my suspicion feels like betrayal on my part. The crisis keeps moving anyway. My landlord emails. My unit is uninhabitable for at least 6 weeks. My job's HR asks for documentation because I'm missing shifts. The insurance rep wants photos of every damaged item. I'm scrolling through pictures of my blackened mattress and melted bookshelf, and it feels like looking at a stranger's life. Jade takes over. She drafts emails to save you energy. She answers calls before I can. She even suggests I let her log into my insurance portal because the 2-factor code keeps stressing you out. "Just for now," she says, thumb already hovering. "Then you can change everything later." Aunt Rosa visits, drops off toiletries, and watches Jade like she's assessing a used car. "You're doing a lot," Rosa says flatly. Jade beams. "I love her." Rosa turns to me. "Mija, you see the fundraiser statements? You know how much is coming in?" I start to answer and realize I don't. I've only seen the total Jade shows me, never the transactions, never the withdrawal settings. Jade laughs, light and airy. "Rosa, she can barely talk. Why are you interrogating her?" "It's not interrogation," Rosa says. "It's protection." Jade's smile flickers for half a second, then returns even brighter. "I'm the protection." That night, Theo, my neighbor from my old building, texts, "Hey, my sister donated." She got a weird auto-reply. Then he sends me a screenshot that makes my chest go cold. Theo's screenshot is a clean-looking message, the kind you'd assume is official, except it's not. It reads, "Thank you for donating to help Zoey rebuild. Please consider additional support via Cash App. $Jade helps Zoey." There's a heart emoji at the end like it's cute. My throat tightens so hard I cough. The fundraiser platform never sends Cash App requests like that. And even if it did, why would it be Jade's handle? I type with trembling fingers. "Where did she get this?" Theo replies, "It was the confirmation email after donating. My sister thought it was normal." I stare at Jade's closed bedroom door. She's in there, taking a call for the last hour. The condo is quiet except for the soft hum of her air purifier, like she's filtering the world. When she finally comes out, she's smiling again. "Good news," she says. "I talked to your landlord. He'll waive the late fee." I hold up my phone. "Why is your Cash App in the donation email?" Her face changes so fast it's almost impressive. Confusion first, then indignation, then a hurt softness. "What? Zoey, no? That's probably spam," she says, stepping closer to see. "People hack those platforms all the time." "It's the confirmation email," I say. My voice is thin. "Theo's sister got it immediately after donating." Jade laughs once, sharp. "So because a random person got a weird email, I'm stealing from you?" "I didn't say that." "But you're thinking it," she says, and her eyes go glossy like she's ready to cry on command. "After everything I've done. I've fed you. I've housed you. I've handled your paperwork while you..." She gestures at me, at my cough, my exhaustion. "While you fell apart." I feel ashamed instantly. My brain does that thing where it tries to make peace at any cost. "Maybe it's nothing," I whisper. Jade exhales like she's forgiving a child. "Thank you. It's nothing." Then she takes my phone gently, too gently, and says, "Let me look into it, okay? I'll email support." She walks away with my phone. I follow, suddenly alert. Can you give that back? She pauses, smile still there, but her hand tightens around it. Zoey, your lungs are inflamed. Stress makes it worse. Do you want to end up back in the ER? The thread is wrapped in concern. It works. I stop. That night, I can't sleep. I keep thinking about the bank alert, the Cash App handle, the way Jade said I'm the protection like it was a claim. At 2:13 a.m., I open my email on my laptop, not my phone, and search the fundraiser's name. I find the donor notifications Jade forwarded me earlier. They're not forwarded. They're screenshots. And in one cropped edge, I see it. Transfer scheduled. May 16th, $2,000 to linked bank account. I realize Jade has been hiding the withdrawals on purpose. The next morning, I try to act normal, because panic doesn't help when you're trapped in someone else's home. Jade makes eggs, tells me to hydrate, and casually mentions she spoke to my manager. I told her you'll be out at least another week, she says, flipping an omelet like she's flipping my life. She sounded concerned. You talked to my manager? I ask. Of course, she says. You weren't answering texts. People were worried. My phone is on the counter, face down. I realize I haven't held it without Jade watching in days. I need my phone, I say, trying to keep my voice steady. Jade slides it toward me, but her fingers linger, and she smiles like she's giving me a privilege. Remember, she says lightly, if anyone asks about the fundraiser, send them to me. You don't need that pressure. In the group chat, I notice something new. Messages that used to include me now go around me. Maya, Jade, how's Zoey today? Chris, should we visit? Jade, no visits. She's not really stable. It sets her back. Not really stable. Like I'm fragile glass she owns. I type, I'm okay. I can talk. Immediately Jade texts me privately. Please don't contradict me in there. It confuses people. My skin prickles. I walk to the bathroom, lock the door, and call Aunt Rosa. Tell me exactly what you know, Rosa says before I can even speak. I tell her about the Cash App email, the cropped screenshot, the bank alert. I hear her inhale sharply. Mija, she says, voice low, you change your passwords right now. You check your credit. You don't accuse her yet. She'll kick me out, I whisper. Then you come to me, Rosa snaps. Better a couch than a thief. I look at my reflection, dark circles, smoky hair that still smells faintly like burned plastic. I hate that I feel like a guest in my own crisis. That afternoon, I tell Jade I need fresh air. She insists on coming. I say I want to walk alone. Her smile tightens. I don't love that, she says. What if you faint? I won't, I say, and for the first time she looks annoyed, not concerned. When I step outside alone, my phone buzzes. It's a DM from someone I barely know, a girl from Jade's yoga studio. Hey, I'm sorry to ask, but did you approve Jade taking a management fee? My heart thuds so hard I taste metal. I type back, what management fee? She sends a screenshot of a story Jade posted, a selfie with tearful eyes and the caption, I'm doing everything for Zoey. If you can, tip your fundraiser organizer too. Under it, Venmo at Jade last name. I stand on the sidewalk shaking, realizing Jade didn't just take control. She sold the narrative that she deserved payment for saving me. And I finally understand how alone she's made me. I don't confront Jade. Not yet. I do what Aunt Rosa said. I gather facts like they're oxygen. First, I check the fundraiser itself. I ask Jade for the login to thank people properly. She laughs, kisses my forehead like I'm a child. Zoe, the platform is glitchy, she says. You'll lock us out. I'll show you updates. That us hits wrong. So I use the only access I still control, my email and my bank. In the bathroom again, I reset passwords. I turn on two-factor authentication to my number. I check my credit report. There's a hard inquiry from April 22nd, 2025 for a store credit card I never applied for. My mouth goes dry. April was before the fire. I screenshot everything. Inquiry date, creditor name, phone number. Then I call the creditor and ask for details. The rep says the application listed my full legal name, my old address, and here's the part that makes my hands go numb. Jade's condo address as the mailing address. I hang up and sit on the cold tile floor, trying to breathe without coughing. A text pops up from Theo. You okay? I can drive you to your place later. I type back. Can you meet me at the coffee shop on 8th at 6? When I get there, Theo is already seated, frowning into his cup. He's a steady presence, quiet, practical, the kind of neighbor who helped carry groceries and never asked intrusive questions. I slide my phone across the table. Look, I whisper. He scans the screenshots. His jaw tightens. This is not a misunderstanding. I think she's been using me, I say, and my voice cracks. Maybe longer than the fire. Theo leans closer. My cousin works in fraud investigations, he says carefully. But even without that, if she's linking accounts, you need documentation. Dates. Transfers. I don't have access to the fundraiser, I say. She's the admin. Theo's eyes flick up. Unless you're listed as the beneficiary. Some platforms let beneficiaries view withdrawals. Hope sparks. I open my email and search for the original campaign invite link. Buried under dozens of forwarded screenshots, I find a plain text email from the platform. You've been added as beneficiary. There's a view campaign button. My hands shake as I click. A login page appears. I enter my email. Reset password. The verification code goes to my phone, not Jade's. I get in. The dashboard loads slowly, like it knows it's about to ruin my life. Total raised, $12,940. Total transferred out, $9,000. Recipient bank account, J, last name, Jade. Transfer dates, May 16th, $2,000. May 18th, $3,000. May 20th, $4,000. A note on the last transfer, emergency personal reimbursement. I stare until the letters blur. Theo whispers, Zoey. I refresh the page, praying it's wrong. It isn't. My phone buzzes with a new notification. Password reset requested for your fundraiser account. And the request is coming from Jade's device. I log out immediately. I change the password again. I add a recovery email Jade doesn't know. My fingers move like they've trained for this, like my body finally understands the threat. Theo watches my face and says, you need to leave her place. I know, I whisper. But I can't yet. If I vanish, she'll spin it. Theo nods. Then you document. Quietly. And you get a witness. That's how Aunt Rosa ends up sitting in Theo's truck with me later that night, a plastic folder on her lap, like she's ready for war. We park across from Jade's condo building. My chest feels tight, not from smoke this time. From dread. I can't believe you didn't tell me sooner, Rosa says, not unkindly. I didn't know, I say. Or I didn't want to know. Rosa snorts. We all got that disease sometimes. I open my laptop in the truck and pull up the fundraiser dashboard. I take photos with my phone. Screenshots can be disputed, Rosa says, but photos showing the time and context help. I capture the transfer log, the bank name, the recipient account. Then I check the campaign's updates. Jade has been posting as me. Zoey here, so grateful for Jade's help. She's handling everything. I feel sick. She didn't just steal money. She wore my voice like a costume. Theo tells me to check my sent emails. I do. There are threads to my landlord, my manager, and the insurance rep that I didn't write. Jade has been emailing from my account because, of course, my laptop auto-synced when she helped me set up my phone after the fire. Rosa's hand clamps down on my knee. Mija, she says, voice firm, this is identity theft. I swallow hard. What if she thinks she's justified? I ask, stupidly, because some part of me still wants the betrayal to be smaller. Rosa looks at me like I'm asking if gravity is optional. Justified doesn't mean legal, and legal doesn't mean safe. Theo adds, we should talk to someone official, an attorney, or at least file a report. My stomach flips. Filing a report means war. It means our friends choosing sides. It means Jade's face when she realizes her cover is gone. I whisper, I need one more thing. What? Theo asks. The why, I say. If I go public without it, she'll say I'm unstable and paranoid. Rosa's mouth tightens. Then you get the why. But carefully. I remember the credit inquiry in April. I remember Jade using her address. I remember her saying, I'm the protection, like she'd rehearsed it. When I get back to Jade's condo, she's on the couch scrolling, calm as a lake. She looks up and smiles. There you are, she says. People were starting to worry. I force a smile back. Sorry, I needed air. She pats the cushion beside her. Come here. Let me show you something sweet. She turns her phone toward me. It's a group chat with our friends, without me in it. The title is Supporting Zoey, No Stress Zone. And Jade is the admin. I made it so you don't get overwhelmed, she says brightly. Isn't that thoughtful? I stare at the screen, feeling my own life slip through my fingers. Then I see a message from someone I don't recognize at all. The unknown contact's name in the no stress zone chat is Mark, Jade's friend. And his messages are casual, like he belongs. Mark, did you move the last transfer yet? Jade, yes. Don't stress. She has no access. Mark, good. Remember what we talked about. Keep her calm. My heart pounds, so loud I'm sure Jade can hear it. I keep my face neutral like I'm watching cat videos. What's this? I ask lightly, pointing to the chat title. Jade laughs. Oh my God, Zoey. It's just people being supportive. Mark's my friend from an old job. Nice, I say, and my mouth tastes like pennies. Later, in the bathroom, I lock the door and screenshot the entire conversation from Jade's phone because she left it on the counter while she showered, and my hands move like they belong to someone braver. I capture timestamps, names, and the line that changes everything. Did you move the last transfer yet? Mark isn't a random bystander. He's part of the operation. I text Theo. There's someone else. Mark. He's coordinating transfers. Theo replies instantly. Get out. Tonight. I wish it were that simple. Because the stakes aren't just embarrassment anymore. It's my housing, my job, my credit. Jade has been emailing my manager. She could destroy my reputation with one well-placed lie. The next day, Jade takes me to an insurance office to speed things up. In the waiting room, she squeezes my hand and says, let me do the talking. You get emotional, and they'll use it against you. I stare at her, realizing she's been training me to doubt my own voice. At the counter, the rep asks me to confirm my mailing address. Jade answers quickly, same as mine. I interrupt. No, not permanently. Jade's nails dig into my skin. Her smile stays glued on. She's confused. She says softly to the rep, it's been traumatic. I feel the room tilt. That's the tactic. Paint me as unstable, and she becomes the trustworthy narrator. When we get back to the car, Jade turns to me, still smiling, but her eyes are cold. Don't do that again, she says. Do what? I ask, playing dumb. Undermine me, she says, voice low. I'm keeping you afloat. I nod, pretending. Inside, something hard forms, anger with edges. That evening, I meet lawyer Ellis in a small office that smells like paper and coffee. Theo comes with me. Ellis is in his late 40s, calm, precise, the kind of person whose words feel like bricks. He looks at the fundraiser transfer log, the credit inquiry, the chat screenshots. He doesn't gasp or dramatize. This is a pattern, Ellis says. And it started before the fire. My stomach drops. How can you tell? Ellis taps the April inquiry date. Because she tested the boundary first. He leans back and says, if you want to end this cleanly, you need to set a trap. I swallow. A trap how? Ellis's eyes don't blink. You let her think she's still winning until you control the room. And then he tells me exactly what room to choose. Ellis's plan is simple enough to be terrifying. Get Jade to admit, in writing or on a recorded call, that she controlled the fundraiser money and used it for herself. Then expose it in a space where she can't rewrite the story afterward. Public doesn't mean loud, Ellis says. It means witnessed. He suggests a meeting, a small thank you gathering for donors. Jade will love that. She loves being seen as the hero. We invite a few key friends, plus Aunt Rosa, plus Theo. And we time it so we can pull the fundraiser logs up on a screen. If Jade tries to deny, the evidence will live in everyone's eyes at once. I hate how calculated it feels. I also hate that I have to be calculated at all. Back at Aunt Rosa's house, because yes, I finally left Jade's condo that night. I sit on a lumpy couch and watch my own hands shake. I feel like I'm doing something wrong, I admit. Rosa snorts. You're doing something smart. Theo sits at the kitchen table, making a timeline on a legal pad like we're building a case for court because, apparently, we are. He reads aloud. April 22nd, credit inquiry. May 14th, fire. May 15th, fundraiser created. May 16th, $2,000 transfer to Jade. May 18th, $3,000. May 20th, for $1,000. I add. May 15th, my card added to her Apple Pay at 10:42 p.m. Theo looks up sharply. You have proof of that? I nod and show the device list screenshot. I included the timestamp. Ellis emails me a list of steps. Freeze credit, file fraud alert, request fundraiser platform transaction records, and, crucially, Send Jade one message that makes her respond. What kind of message? I ask. A message that invites her to justify herself? Ellis replies. So I text Jade from my phone, carefully casual. Hey, people are asking me about the fundraiser withdrawals. Can you send me the breakdown so I can reassure them? She replies within 2 minutes. So don't stress. I had to reimburse expenses. I'll handle it. My throat tightens. I push gently. What expenses? Can you list them? I just need clarity. 3 dots appear. Disappear. Appear again. Finally, I literally saved you. You would have been homeless without me. I stare at that sentence. It's not an answer. It's a claim of ownership. I push again, hands sweating. I appreciate you. I just need numbers for insurance and taxes. Her response comes fast and sharp. Stop interrogating me like I'm a criminal. Then, if you keep acting like this, I'll tell everyone you're not okay. There it is. The threat, clean and direct. Theo reads it over my shoulder. She's trying to pre-frame you, he says quietly. Rosa takes my phone and types one line with her blunt thumb. Please itemize the reimbursements and send receipts by tonight. Jade replies, fine. Meet me tomorrow. In person. No screenshots. We'll talk. Ellis smiles when he hears that. Good, he says. Now you decide the location. My stomach flips. I can almost see Jade's face across the table, charming and furious. I whisper, she asked for in person because she wants to control it. Ellis replies, then you take control back. I pick the place that has cameras, witnesses, and one giant screen, a donor thank you dinner at Theo's community room. And I invite everyone Jade's been speaking for, especially the ones who think I'm unstable, because if she's going to tell my story, she's going to do it with me sitting upright. Then Jade sends one more message that makes my blood run cold. Also, Jade texts, don't bring Theo. He's been filling your head. I stare at the words, heart hammering. She knows. Maybe not everything, but enough to feel threatened. I don't reply. Ellis told me silence is a tool. That night Jade calls. I let it ring once, twice, then answer with the recording app running. Legal in my state with one-party consent, Ellis confirmed. Zoey, she says, voice syrupy. I've been worried. You've been distant. I'm staying with Aunt Rosa for a bit. I say evenly. A pause. Okay, she says too brightly. That's fine. You just, please don't let her turn this into drama. I'm not trying to make drama. I say. I just need transparency. Jade sighs like I'm exhausting her. Zoe, listen. You were a mess. You still are a mess. Someone had to take charge. I didn't ask you to take money, I say quietly. Her tone shifts, sharper. Don't do that. Do what? I ask, echoing her own words back at her. Make me the villain, she snaps. Then immediately softens, like she remembered an audience might exist. I covered expenses. Gas. Food. Time off work. You have no idea what I sacrificed. What expenses total? I ask. Because the transfers are $9,000. Silence. Then she laughs, but it's brittle. Wow. So you did get access. I'm the beneficiary, I say, keeping my voice flat. It's for me. It's for your survival, she says, and something in her voice turns possessive. And I'm the one making sure you survive. I want receipts, I say. Her breathing changes. Zoey, she says slowly, you don't want to do this. Do what? Go public, she says, and she says it like a prediction. Because if you do, I will tell them what you were like that first night. How you couldn't stop crying. How you couldn't breathe. How you begged me. My skin crawls. That's private. Jade's voice drops into something colder. Nothing is private when someone's unstable. People deserve to know. I swallow, trying not to cough. Did you apply for a credit card in my name? Another beat of silence. Too long. Then, lightly, don't be ridiculous. I checked, I say. The mailing address was your condo. Her tone snaps. You're spiraling. I can hear the strategy as she uses it. Label. Dismiss. Control. I force myself to speak slowly. Jade, if you have nothing to hide, send receipts. She exhales. Fine, she says. Tomorrow, in person. And Zoey? Yeah. I hope you know, she says sweetly. People already trust me more than you right now. When the call ends, my hands shake so hard I almost drop the phone. Theo looks sick. Aunt Rosa looks furious in the way only family can be. She threatened to expose your medical crisis, Rosa says. That's not friendship. That's leverage. Ellis listens to the recording the next day and nods once. She admitted control, he says. Not theft yet, but control. What if she backs out? I ask. She won't, Ellis says. She needs the narrative. We finalize the plan. Theo's community room, small group, projector ready. Ellis will drop by as a neutral professional. I'll ask Jade calmly, in front of witnesses, to open the fundraiser dashboard. If she refuses, I'll open mine. My stomach churns for hours. I don't sleep. I keep imagining Jade's smile turning into rage. Right before the dinner, Jade texts, "We're something nice. You'll look more believable." And that's when I realize she's preparing to put me on trial. On the night of the thank you dinner, my lungs feel tight, but my spine feels straight for the first time in weeks. Theo's community room is plain, folding chairs, a long table with cheap string lights, a rented projector. Exactly what we need. No glamour, no distractions, just witnesses. I invite 6 people, 3 donors who asked questions, 2 mutual friends who've been protecting my peace without ever asking me, plus Aunt Rosa. Theo's there. Ellis sits quietly in the corner with a legal pad like he's just a friend of Theo's. Jade arrives 10 minutes late, dramatic as always. She sweeps in carrying a bouquet like she's the grieving widow at her own movie. "Everyone," she says, voice trembling perfectly, "thank you for showing up for Zoey. She's been through hell." I watch faces soften. I watch them look at her with gratitude. Jade turns to me and cups my cheek like I'm a child. "You okay, baby?" she whispers, loud enough for everyone to hear. "I'm okay," I say, and the simplicity of it feels like rebellion. We sit. People eat. Jade talks about the fire like she lived it. She tells a story about pulling me out that isn't true. I walked out myself. But nobody corrects her because the story is nicer with her as the hero. Finally, I clear my throat. "I want to thank everyone," I say, "and I also want to be transparent about where the money went." Jade's smile tightens. "Zoey," she says softly, "we don't need to do this tonight." "I do," I say. One donor, Chris, nods. "Yeah," he says. "I was confused by the Cash App thing." Jade laughs lightly. "That was spam. We handled it." "We?" Aunt Rosa repeats, eyebrows raised. Jade ignores her. "Zoey's been overwhelmed, so I've been managing the logistics." I breathe in. "Can you open the fundraiser dashboard, Jade?" The room goes quiet in that sudden way that makes your ears ring. Jade's eyes flick to the projector. "Why?" she asks, voice still sweet. "Because withdrawals were made to your bank account," I say evenly. "And people deserve to know why." A sharp inhale ripples through the table. Jade's cheeks flush, then she laughs, too loud. "Okay," she says, standing abruptly. "So this is what this is. An ambush." "It's a question," I say. Jade turns to the group, hands lifted like she's offering herself up. "I have been taking care of Zoey," she says, voice wobbling. "I paid for food, gas, supplies, and I took time off work. I reimbursed myself because she literally couldn't function." Chris frowns. $9,000? Jade's head snaps toward him. "Excuse me." Theo quietly clicks the remote. The projector wakes up. A blank screen waits. I stand and connect my laptop. My hands shake, but my voice doesn't. "I'm going to show everyone the transfer log," I say. "Then Jade can explain." Jade lunges a half step forward. "Zoey, don't," she hisses under her breath. "You're humiliating yourself." I look at her. "No," I say softly. "I'm telling the truth." On the screen, the fundraiser dashboard appears. Total raised $12,940. Total transferred $9,000. Recipient, Jade last name. Silence explodes into whispers. Jade's face goes pale, then hard. "This is out of context," she says quickly. "She's leaving out what she owes me." "Owes you," Aunt Rosa says, voice like a blade. Jade points at me. "She's unstable," she says. "She's twisting this because she needs someone to blame." Ellis finally speaks, calm as stone. "MS. Last name," he says. "Do you have receipts for those reimbursements?" Jade's eyes flick to him, startled. "Who are you?" Ellis doesn't smile. "Someone who recognizes fraud." Jade's breath stutters. She looks around the room, calculating, trying to find a way out. Then she says the one thing she thinks will save her. "Fine. If you want receipts, I'll show you." And she reaches into her bag for her phone like she's about to erase everything. "Stop," I say, louder than I mean to, and Jade freezes with her phone halfway out. Theo steps closer, not touching her, just present. If you delete anything, it's going to look worse, he says. Jade's eyes flash. Don't talk to me like I'm a criminal. She snaps, same line as her texts, rehearsed. Ellis holds up one hand. No one's touching your device, he says evenly. But you will not alter records mid-discussion. Jade laughs, high and brittle. Wow, so you brought a lawyer. Cute. I brought reality, I say. My voice shakes now, but it's still mine. Open the dashboard. Show the expenses. Jade's thumbs hover. For a moment, I think she'll bolt. Then she smiles, dangerous, confident. Okay, she says. Let's do transparency. She casts the fundraiser platform to the projector from her phone. My stomach clenches. She's faster than I expected, smoother. On the screen, she opens a note labeled Zoey expenses. It's a list, groceries, gas, lost wages, and one line that makes my vision blur. Emotional labor, $2,500. The donors stare. Chris blinks hard. Is that real? Jade shrugs like it's obvious. Do you have any idea what it's like to take care of someone who's drowning? She says. I was up all night with her. I drove her to appointments. I answered her landlord. I managed her fundraiser. That's labor. That's friendship, I say, and the words come out raw. Jade's expression cracks for half a second, and something uglier flashes through. Friendship isn't free, she says quietly. The room goes dead silent. I take a breath and pull up the screenshot of Mark's messages, the one about moving the last transfer. I look at Jade. Who is Mark? Her eyes widen just slightly. What? I tap the remote and project the screenshot. Mark? Did you move the last transfer yet? Jade? Yes. She has no access. Gasps, murmurs. Someone says, who's Mark? Jade's voice goes sharp. That's not what it looks like. Then explain it, I say. She stares at the screen, then at the faces, and I watch her realize her usual charm isn't working. Her shoulders tense, jaw tight. Theo speaks quietly. My cousin works in fraud, he says. We already saved copies of the transfer logs. Jade whips toward him. You went through her stuff? She snaps. You went through her life? Aunt Rosa says, eyes blazing. Jade's mouth opens, closes. Then she pivots, desperate for a new angle. You want the truth? Jade says, voice shaking with anger now instead of tears. Fine. I did it because Zoey always gets to be the good one. I blink. What? Jade points at me like she's been waiting years. You always get the praise. You're the responsible one. The stable one. The one people donate to. Meanwhile, I'm the fun friend. Until it's time to be taken seriously. Chris frowns. So you stole because you felt overlooked? I didn't steal, Jade spits. I collected what I was owed. Ellis leans forward. You also applied for credit in her name, he says calmly, like reading a grocery list. April 22nd. Your address. Jade's face drains. No. I stare at her. Before the fire. I whisper. You started before the fire. Jade's eyes flare with something like hatred. You don't even know what you took from me, she says. What did I take? I ask, voice breaking. Jade's lips curl. You took him. Everyone goes still. I whisper, who? Jade's smile is sharp as glass. Mark, she says. My boyfriend. And then Theo's face changes like he just recognized the name. Theo goes pale. Wait, he says slowly. Mark. Mark D. From Meridian Marketing? Jade's eyes flick to him, surprised. Yeah, she snaps. Why? Theo looks at me, then back at Jade. Zoey, he says carefully. Meridian is your company's biggest client. My stomach drops so fast it feels like falling. Suddenly, the fundraiser theft isn't the only bomb. Jade has been coordinating with someone who can touch my job. Jade's mouth tightens. Oh my God, she says, laughing like we're all stupid. This is exactly what I mean. Zoey's world and my world overlap, and she never even notices. I stare. You're dating our client contact? Jade shrugs. He noticed me, she says. Not like some people. The donors look uncomfortable now, shifting in their chairs. The betrayal has expanded beyond money into something stickier. Power, leverage, reputation. Ellis speaks calmly. Ms. Last name. Did you share any of Zoey's workplace information with Mr. D? Jade glares. I didn't share anything she didn't deserve. I feel my pulse in my throat. What does that mean? Jade looks right at me, eyes bright. It means when you started acting ungrateful, she says. I made sure Mark knew what kind of person you are. My vision blurs. You told a client I'm unstable. I whisper. Jade tilts her head. Are you saying you weren't? She asks softly, and the cruelty is so casual it nearly knocks me over. Theo stands up. Jade, stop, he says, voice low. Jade snaps, sit down. This isn't about you. Ellis holds up his phone. This conversation is being documented, he says. Any threats regarding employment will be included. Jade's breathing quickens. She looks around the room and realizes the hero costume is gone. The witnesses aren't hers anymore. One of the donors, Maya, speaks up quietly. Jade, I donated because I thought it went to Zoey. Jade's eyes flash. It did, she says. It went to keeping her alive. It went to your bank account, Chris says flatly. Jade turns to me, voice trembling now, finally. Zoe, she says, please, don't do this. If you file a report, you'll ruin me. You ruined me, I say, and my voice is so calm it scares me. Jade steps closer, hands out like she's about to hug me. I can fix it, she whispers. I'll pay back some. We can say it was a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding is forgetting a birthday, Aunt Rosa snaps. Not stealing $9,000. Jade flinches and the mask slips completely. Shut up, she hisses at Rosa. The room erupts, people talking over each other, disbelief, anger. Someone says, we should call the platform. Someone else says, this is criminal. Jade's eyes dart, calculating exits. Then she lunges toward the projector table and grabs my laptop cord. If you post this, she snarls, I'll post everything you sent me. Every breakdown. Every message. I'll show them how pathetic you were. I grab the laptop, pulling it away. Do it, I say, surprising myself. And I'll show them the fundraiser log. She freezes. For the first time, she looks scared. Ellis stands. We're done here, he says. Zoe, we leave. Everyone else, if you donated, I suggest you contact the platform immediately. Jade's voice turns desperate. Zoe, please, she says. You don't understand. I needed it. I stare at her. Then you should have asked, I say. When I walk out, my legs shake so hard I grip Theo's arm. In the parking lot, my phone buzzes with an email from my work account. Subject line, urgent, client complaint, immediate HR meeting. And I know Jade didn't just steal money. She pulled my job into it. The HR meeting is the next morning. I don't sleep. I sit at Aunt Rose's kitchen table with Ellis on speakerphone and Theo passing me water like I'm made of paper. The email says Meridian complained that I was unprofessional and unstable, and that a close contact had concerns about my reliability. Close contact. Jade's phrasing, dressed up. Ellis tells me, bring documentation. Keep it factual. No emotion. Easy advice. Hard reality. At HR, I slide a folder across the table. Fundraiser transfer logs, the threat texts, the recorded call transcript snippet where Jade says she'll tell everyone I'm not okay, and the screenshot showing Mark coordinating transfers. I also include the credit inquiry tied to Jade's address. The HR rep, calm, careful, reads quietly. Her face changes in small increments. Zoe, she says finally, this is serious. I'm sorry you're dealing with this. I exhale like I've been holding my breath for weeks. I'm not asking for sympathy, I say. I'm asking you not to let her sabotage my work. HR nods. We will document the client interference, she says, and we will address it with Meridian through proper channels. When I leave, my knees almost buckle from relief. The police station is next. Filing the report feels surreal, like I'm describing someone else's nightmare. The officer asks for dates and amounts, and I give them. May 16th, $2,000. May 18th, $3,000. May 20th, $4,000. April 22nd, fraudulent credit inquiry. They take my statement. They give me a case number. It's not cinematic. It's fluorescent lights and paperwork and my own voice sounding steady in a place I never wanted to be. The fundraiser platform responds within 48 hours. They freeze the campaign and request Jade's linked bank details for investigation. Several donors contact me directly, apologizing for believing Jade. Some don't. One friend messages, Jade said you're spiraling and taking it out on her. I reply once, calmly. Here's the transfer log with timestamps. After that, I stop debating my reality. Jade tries to call. I block her. She emails from a new account. I don't respond. She shows up outside Aunt Rose's house once, crying, saying she's scared and sorry. Rosa doesn't open the door. Therapy becomes a weekly appointment I treat like medication. My therapist says, "You were in a crisis. You accepted help. That's not a character flaw." I learned boundaries like a new language. No shared passwords, no financial intermediaries, no gatekeepers for my own life. I move into a small sublet paid by insurance reimbursement and the remaining fundraiser funds that the platform releases directly to me after verification. I buy a cheap bed. I hang one photo on the wall, my old apartment before the fire, because I refuse to let my life be defined by what burned. Some nights I still wake up thinking I hear sprinklers. Then, 2 weeks later, Ellis calls me with a tone I haven't heard yet, quiet satisfaction. "They pulled Jade's bank records from the platform," he says. "And Zoey, the money didn't go where she claimed." My throat tightens. "Where did it go?" Ellis pauses. "Multiple transfers to one account." Marks. I sit down hard. So she wasn't just reimbursing herself. "No," Ellis says. "She was paying him." I stare at the wall, remembering Jade's words. "You took him." And I realize the why is uglier and simpler than I wanted. She didn't do this because she lost control. She did it to win. Ellis says, "There's more, but you should see it in person." Then he tells me the number that proves Jade planned everything months ago. Ellis shows me the bank record summary in his office. It's a clean list of transactions with dates and notes. No drama, just numbers that feel like fists. There are transfers from Jade to Mark going back to March 2025 with memos like rent, cards, and one that makes my stomach drop. Zoey plan. "Is that what I think it is?" I ask, barely breathing. Ellis nods once. "It suggests intent," he says. "Not an impulsive mistake." I sit there, stunned by how long she'd been looking at my life like an opportunity. The fire didn't create the betrayal. It gave her an excuse to act on it with an audience cheering. In the months that follow, consequences arrive like slow thunder. The platform recovers part of the transferred funds through dispute in cooperation with investigators. The credit inquiry becomes a formal fraud case. Meridian drops Mark as a contact after internal review. Some mutual friends quietly disappear. Others apologize. A few never do, and I let that be data, not heartbreak. The hardest part isn't losing Jade. It's grieving the version of myself who thought loyalty was automatic, who thought being low maintenance made me safer. Aunt Rosa tells me, "Mija, you survived a fire. You can survive a liar." She says it like a blessing and a command. Theo stays steady. He never says, "I told you so." He just shows up with groceries and a spare phone charger and the kind of calm that reminds me I'm not crazy. Therapy helps me name what happened. Coercive control dressed as caretaking. Isolation masked as protection. Financial abuse packaged as help. My takeaway is painfully practical. If someone insists on being the only point of contact, that's a red flag. If someone refuses transparency, that's not support, that's control. If your gut whispers, listen, especially during a crisis. The hopeful image is smaller than revenge, but it's real. One evening I sit on my new mattress, windows open, breathing air that doesn't smell like smoke. I open my banking app and see only my devices. I open my email and see only messages I wrote. I feel boring again and safe.